Hey guys, Dylan from the Geek Duo here, and today I'll be bringing you my reaction to Agatha All Along, Season 1, Episode 6, titled Familiar by Thy Side. Familiar Teen is much more than he seems, and his connection to the rest of the Coven is revealed. So this seems like it's a teen-centered story, both by the title, saying Familiar by the Side, which was what he's been called multiple times. He's been called Agatha's familiar. And the synopsis is all about him. So I don't know how applicable my notes for this from the last episode are, but I did actually have notes from the last episode. So this is just a fun thing I want to point out, because I've been making mental notes about every time Lydia has a vision. And I've been trying to make mental notes about everything she says. But apparently, people have been doing a better job at that than me, because there was some that came to pass in the last episode. Her saying, "I hated this the first time," is related to when she was freaking out in her apartment with Agatha and Teen, how she was clutching her head and screaming, just like everyone was doing when the spirit was being released in the last episode, and she was the only one not doing that. Save Agatha could be related to the fact they were trying to protect her from Evanora's possession, which likely would have resulted in her death. Alice Don't could have been related to Alice sending the blast of magic at Agatha, which she knew would result in Agatha stealing her power. Or those could have been a combination of Alice Don't save Agatha, as in don't do this because it will backfire on you. Also, I think she's showrunner or the director, Jack Schaefer, said that Agatha is the spirit witch of this coven. Which, if you remember back to, I think, episode 2, I said that usually there's an element assigned to each witch. And if it's the 4 points of a compass, then that's just earth, air, fire, water. However, if it's a pentagram, there's usually a soul or spirit. So it turns out I did actually know something. But that is why her trial was all about communing with spirits, and that is because she's the spirit witch. Which is interesting when related to another character, or who another character is believed to be. Oh yeah, I meant to put this at the start of the episode, and if I remember, I'll retroactively make this the start of the episode, but next week's, my reaction to episode 7 will be coming out on the Tuesday, so that the finale, the first part of the 2 parts, comes out on the day it was released, which is next Thursday. And then the second part will be the following Tuesday. So you're getting today, Thursday, episode 7 Tuesday, episode 8 Thursday, episode 9 Tuesday. Just because I don't want to be 2 weeks behind by the time the show actually finishes. Anyway, none of that's really relevant to this episode, so let's get it started in 3, 2, 1, go. Oh yeah, another thing that people were saying is um the real reason that Agatha stopped stealing Alice's power and whipped around at the name of Nicholas Scratch is because the teen was the one who said the name. And she was still holding out hope that he was actually her son. But because he said it in the name, the sigil wasn't active. And also, that is what broke the sigil to make her realize that he's Billy Kaplan or Billy Maximoff. Familiar by thy side. Hmm. Was not expecting him to be Jewish. This is the second show this year that's shown about Mitzvah. And this one's going a lot better than the last one. Really? A palm reading set up at. Okay. Is it Lilia? She didn't recognize him though. I'm going to assume that's just because she's had so many clients. Hmm. The side of teen in the crystal ball, well, Billy is, well, William. is sitting there. And she had an actual vision with it. Oh, what does the reversed mean? Because we know the Tower card was related to him, but reversed. You left your jacket. She placed a sigil on him. Hmm. Okay. That explains that then. Hmm. It was radio waves, so it makes sense that they'd be able to pick it up. That damage was located entirely where William was. Right as the hex was dispersing. Oh, it was immediately. Alice. And I'm guessing Jen's gonna be at the. Except for, yeah, the amnesia. How are they gonna react when they find out that William is dead and Billy is now living in their son? He did say a lot happened when he was 13 to Alice, and this was 3 years before him being 16 in Agatha all along, so he'd be 13 here, which makes sense with the bat mitzvah. Hmm. Maybe seeing my room will help. Hmm. She knows something's up because she never said that out loud. But I mean, in this world, it wouldn't be too out there to say that traumatic head injury could awaken some latent power, such as reading minds. I always forget the name of this. Is it psychometry? I was expecting him to be able to pick things up and regain memories from them. Yeah, process when facts and impressions about a person can be received through contact with the object. I was expecting him to have some of that. would be a weird. I can sort of read your mind. Too. Who are you? There was there is the headline under Joe Locke's character saying about a car accident just near Westview. Well, considering who I've been spoiled as to who it is, makes sense. There it is. We So this is building off of the deleted scene at the end of WandaVision, where Ralph Boner cuts off his um, house arrest anklet, and runs away because he was Jimmy Woo's witness protection. Was it witness protection or? I was wondering if that was a chicken's foot on his. That was a poor response. No one's seen him since. Hmm. Yeah, that'd be a lot to take in when you suspect you could have been hijacked by a soul from. Hmm. Well, at least they do seem fair with both his goth turn and the fact he has a boyfriend. I was sort of expecting. No, based on the characters in the comics, from what I know about them, they make sense. They'd be cool with it. Hmm. I do love dread it. That was that was a funny touch. Ah, so that's what his goal is. It's not to awaken his power like he said at the start. It's not to find his mum or anything. It's to find Tommy. Because there has been a lot of speculation that he's been trying to, like, bring back Wanda. Is it though? So she was just wearing casual clothes, not a uniform. Makes sense. I don't know why I was expecting her to actually have the uniform, but so that wasn't Nicholas Scratch's room, that was hers. That was a lot less graceful than it seemed in her vision. Really a hose head instead of. See, the other end of this is hilarious. No, I do not. You know? Hmm. Even before he was doing the um spell, she was snapping out of it just by being in his presence. Smart. Hmm. They did say his actual name. Oh, so we are getting some road this episode. Now, there's only one character that we did not see this episode from the Coven. Oh, not the jacket. The sigil is broken. Does that mean he can now remember Billy Kaplan, though? Yours. Alright, your mother. Did my dog just open my door? I don't know if I missed one of my parents opening the door, but... That sounded almost genuine. We passed your trial, so... Why does it sound like there's a phone ringing in the background? No. Technically, he's still out there. And he's in pieces. No, wait, that was the pieces that are good. Good, that'll keep you alive. Is that because of what you did to, Lilia and Jen, or... Now I want to see something, because it's been pointed out that there's 2 empty spaces in the credits, and... So I'm just going to let this run. I was not expecting, this to be the majority of a flashback episode. I was expecting maybe half. Yeah, I guess 2/3 is close enough to half. But yeah, that was not what I was expecting. I would have liked to have had the Ralph Boner return as a surprise, but I decided to record this a day late and got spoiled in a thumbnail. So, But yeah, the confrontation of Billy and Agatha, actually getting to see the reincarnated kid of your dead rival. It is a little. Yep, there we go. This is what I was expecting. Evan Peters. That is what I was looking out for. Over the pentagram. And now who plays Jeff Kaplan? We want Jeff Kaplan MCU. And not exactly what I was expecting. Because after Evan Peters comes Rebecca Kaplan on her own, and then the next one is Jeff Kaplan. And then the actor of what was his name? Eddie. Yeah. Weird that they put Rebecca on her own and then Jeff and Eddie together. Why not put Jeff and Rebecca together and then Eddie on his own? I don't think Rebecca had that much more screen time than either of them. Also, there's one more thing I want to... Yeah, I didn't think that was right. Okay. So it seems like they filled up all of the slots on the title screen. Now, as I was saying before that popped up, I am a little sad that you had Lilia doing a palm reading thing at Bat Mitzvah, which again still seems weird to me that they would have that. But I guess Jewish is less against pagan stuff. I guess. You had Alice being the cop that Jeff flagged down after the accident, which that's fair. They did say that she used to be a cop, and made sense her being in the area for her to be able to arrive at Westview not long after Billy and Agatha did. And then you had Jen just being in a YouTube video. I don't even think it was a video. I think it was the ad before a video saying, like, selling her probiotic candles and that. But yeah, it's revealed that he is in fact the reincarnation form of Billy Maximoff, making him Wiccan. We thought this since he was cast, that he was going to be Wiccan. There was the possibility of him being a reincarnated Nicholas Scratch, just because, well, Agatha had a kid. There was a thing in her trance house of Nicholas Scratch having an award from school. I don't know why everyone thought that he was a child, like he was a baby. Like, yeah, there was the dark hold in the bassinet. Is that the right word? Yeah. But, we had him in the first episode referenced through a school award. And so, like, our first example of him is being older than a child, a baby. But, yeah, I never really signed on to it. I do like to talk about other theories without giving my 2 cents, just so that when it's confirmed, I can say, oh, I didn't believe this, but I wanted to put it out there, and I'm surprised that this is the way. Or when it's disproven, I'm like, I didn't really believe it, but I wanted to get it out there. And yeah, it turns out I was correct. I don't know why I do it that way, but I do. It's just something I've been doing since I started the channel. But yeah. Now, interesting that, okay, it makes sense that Lilia, she saw William's future, saw him get fused with Billy, like your lifeline is severed and all that, showing the merging of the two souls and that. And then she put the sigil on him to protect him from witches. I'm pretty sure that was still her in a trance, even though she had the whole tower inverted. And then seemingly came out of it. She put the sigil on in his jacket, and then she forgot, which is, as Agatha said, it's an annoying piece of work because even if I put it on you, I wouldn't remember. So, yeah, it makes sense that she doesn't recognize him when he comes into the shop for the first time because she forgot everything about him immediately after putting the sigil on his items. And it makes sense that Jen doesn't remember him because he never actually interacted with her. He just watched her videos on YouTube for like skincare stuff and that. But Alice was the one who saved him. Well, got him out of the car after the crash. You'd think she'd at least have some form of recognition when he showed up at her place, at the Hot Topic and that. I guess it was 3 years between, but still. Out of all of them, it would make sense. Oh yeah, that's... I opened the tab to Google what a tarot card reversed means, got distracted, and then closed the tab just as I remembered why I had it open. Tarot card reversed? Getting a tarot card, a reverse card, means you get a tarot card definition and have it flipped 180 degrees over. A reverse card indicates a blockage of some sort or something that needs your attention. Let's just Google the Tower reversed. Seems a lot of people have Googled what this means after this episode. The Tower reversed. Illness, obstacles, losses, and volatile situation. Apparently. The Tower is commonly interpreted as meaning danger, crisis, destruction, and liberation. However, you reverse that, it gets illness, losses, obstacles. It's also interesting that it's a fire card, which was Alice's element, and she was the one who had the closest connection with Teen out of the whole coven. Like, Agatha was pretty standoffish, Jen didn't really care, Mrs. Davis didn't have time to, Rio was Rio, Lilia was just more completely different ages, so didn't really have much to relate over. And then Alice and Teen, ever since the first trial, were like pretty much working together. So for them both being of a fire element makes sense. Nine of Wands was Alice's, yeah? I'll see if that is also a fire card. The suit of wands is associated with the actions of the will, and the element is fire. Priestess. The High Priestess is a water card. Interesting. So I guess it's not completely related. What were the other ones? Agatha all along tarot cards. Three of Swords. Interesting. That's an air card. Queen of Cups. Okay, so it worked for the first three searches and then just completely went out in the air. So I guess that's not really a thing. It's just three of them are related to water, two of them are fire. I guess that theory didn't go anywhere. So, yeah. Anyway, now, I was watching a Screen Crush video talking all about who Billy Kaplan is, how they could have worked it out to like sort of streamline the story from the comics into this episode. This was released after the last episode, and he kept saying that the area that they're in now is green tinted. This is very clearly yellow. Like, the leaves are yellow, the haze is, I guess, a sort of leading into green yellow, but this is very clearly the yellow area, which is the air trial. So, having gotten rid of Lilia and that, it could... Is he taking the position of a divination, an air witch? Because mind reading could be related to divination. Because we still haven't had... We don't even know if the team gets a trial. You'd assume so, but we've only got, one more episode. And then it's the 2-part finale. But, yeah. It was a very good episode. Hang on. Was Billy Jewish? Huh. That is not what I was expecting. I did not know this aspect of the character. I did not know that the soul of William was apparently reborn in Billy Kaplan, the eldest of 3 sons to Reformed Jews Jeff Kaplan, a cardiologist, and Rebecca Kaplan. One, I'd never heard of Reformed Judaism, also known as Liberal Judaism or Progressive Judaism. Gonna have to look into that. And Reformed Judaism all have openly accepted homosexuality? Okay. I did not know that. Huh. Well, I guess I learned something new. Well, did not know that. That's... Okay. I guess we now have a canonically Jewish character in the MCU. Do we have more? I know religion doesn't really come into it, but... Well, yeah, okay, it does come into it with him, but... Didn't know that. There's a few people on here that I didn't know. None of these, they're, fucking course, dumbass, we had Moonlight. We had the exploration of... Yes, so he's the second one. Because they didn't explore it with Pepper. They didn't keep Pietro alive long enough to explore it. Wanda is the only one of Magneto's kids who seemingly isn't Jewish. Ben Grimm we're going to learn about in Fantastic Four. Don't have any of the X-Men yet. Songbird doesn't exist. Didn't explore it with Pepper. Didn't explore it with Doc Samson. So yes, he's the second. I can't believe I forgot about Moon Knight. Anyway, I've gone on a complete tangent. But, yeah. I was not expecting him to have had run-ins with the members of the Coven. Except for the Green Witches. like, the only time he interacted with Miss Davis was when he ran into her car trying to get away from Agatha. And the only time he'd have seen Rio was possibly through the window when he was watching Agatha go through her whole spiel, but he couldn't see Rio there, don't even know if she was actually there. And when she came to attack Agatha after it. So, yeah, that's interesting. But anyway, I'm gonna end this one here. I did not find anything saying that Reform Jews have a good relationship with pagans and that. So a little surprising that still that they're okay with him like looking into witchcraft and that. But I guess if you're open to some things, why not just say, oh, it's a phase and let him go through it, or just accept it. Either way. But anyway, I've been talking for way too long, so I'll catch you in the next one.